Hi guys, you're so welcome back to another video on this channel, narcscon, where we look at all things in relation to the narcissistic personality disorder in order to heal from the abuse we've been through with a narcissist and to avoid this personality type going forward. So this is part 2 of a video I did last week in relation to when the narcissist knows they're a narcissist. And this is more of a continuation of, should you actually let them know that you know that they're a narcissist? So let's just have a look at what this might look like for your pleasure and my pleasure. And I hope it's not triggering for anyone. I'm going to put myself in the position of actually telling the narcissist that I know they're a narcissist. I know you're a narcissist. Your game is up. You're a con man. You're a fraud. You live your life in the destruction of other people and the destruction of yourself and the life purpose you were given. You've hurt so many people with your lies, with your cheating, with your financial abuse, with your lack of empathy. You've hurt your family, you've hurt your children, you've really hurt me. You have the audacity to take pleasure in people's pain. You stand in front of me and make a story up about someone having sex in a doorway while you were out one night. And you say how awful it is, and then I discover it was actually you doing that. You tell on yourself. You like to bait people so that they get annoyed. You are jealous of other people. You don't have any good qualities that you display other than when you're manipulating someone to get what you want. And you justify all this behavior that causes other people sometimes to take their own lives by having to look after yourself, and this is the way the world is. Well, actually, this is not the way everyone operates in the world, and that's why we are getting this knowledge out there to people that need it, so that they will not be abused by people like you. You are a narcissist. You're black, you're destructive, and you are very demonic in so many different ways. And people are fooled into thinking, in general, that you're a nice, humble, kind person until they actually spend enough time with you to get to know what you really are. So how does that feel, guys? How does that feel? It may feel wonderful, but let's look at what would be the result of doing that. And let's look at the pros and cons of actually telling the narcissist, I know you are a narcissist. Okay, I'm going to come down on one side or the other, but I think you have to make this decision for yourself in your own circumstances and do things in your own way. And that's the reason I'm making the video, to kind of look at the pros and cons of whether you should actually tell the person they're a narcissist and that you know they are or not. I would say in general that we have to customize this decision to our own set of circumstances. Narcissists are dangerous. They are dangerous in that they are not your friend. They are indeed your enemy. Narcissists only want the best for themselves, and if that means crushing you into the ground, that is what they will do to get that, because they do not have emotional empathy, they feel entitled, and they lack accountability. And that's the modus operandi of a narcissist. So often in these circumstances, I will look at warfare in relation to the shoulds or the shouldn'ts and the whys and the hows of dealing with a narcissist. Because in my opinion, this is a psychological personality disorder. It's mentioned in the DSM. The criteria are there. There's 9 criteria. If a person meets 5 of them or more, they are more than likely suffering from the narcissistic personality disorder. So we have the modern world telling us how to analyze the personality disorder. I believe it's driven by a spiritual force that is a very dark entity. Having said that, I believe it's a spiritual war we're in against this personality type that dehumanizes our humanity. If you're in a battle or a war with a known enemy, and now this is the stage that you know the narcissist is your enemy, you know they're a narcissist and they've done very toxic, dangerous, bad things to you, and they're invested in your destruction. If we're on the battlefield, do we send a message to the enemy saying, we know you're the enemy and we know exactly what you are and we know exactly what you do and we know your plans and we know your strategies and we're on to you. And this is what you're going to do next. And we have a very good idea of how you operate and what you've done. And we're going to tell everyone on the battlefield how you're going to attack us next. I know you get where I'm coming from, guys. Telling your enemy that you know who they are and you know what they will do next and that you're going to defeat them by exposing them, and you're going to tell them how you're going to attack them and defeat them. Are you likely to suffer destruction because of that? Are you likely to have an attack that blindsides you from them, that you didn't expect, that you didn't tell them you were expecting? Are you going to win the war and be able to live a peaceful and fruitful life? Narcissists are the enemy. So by revealing yourself to the enemy, you put yourself at immediate disadvantage. Narcissists aren't going to just say, oh, great, yeah, hi, so you know I'm a narcissist, so yeah, let's all be friends and we'll forget about my narcissism. That is who they are. A narcissist that is the person that they are. They will not change. That is who they are. That's how they live. That's how they operate. It is who they are. They play dirty. They have to, in terms of winning and losing, win. They have to destroy any threats to their control. They would see that as a huge narcissistic injury, and they would see your possible exposure of them as being a threat to their very way of life and existence. So that's how serious they would take you revealing that you know who the enemy is and how they're going to attack you. Much as I would understand, and people have confronted a narcissist and have, in the community here, have successfully gotten their closure by telling the narcissist that they know who they are and have gone off and sometimes not been retaliated against for doing that. There is a reason for that. The retaliation could come way down the road. Hopefully it won't. But if a narcissist feels that retaliating against this person is going to bring on more exposure, they will leave that person well alone and give them a wide berth, provided the person isn't within their community or is an acknowledged or assumed threat to the narcissist and their coterie and their inner circle. So there are circumstances where you can tell this devil who they are and that you know who they are, and that you will do your, damnedest to make sure that no one else gets hurt by them. And that's often termed a supernova event. Guys, if you're going to do something like that, you have to make sure that all your battlements are in place, that you have the upper hand on the narcissist, that you know something about the narcissist that, if exposed, would be detrimental to them. You have to, in essence, do this from a very responsive point of view. You cannot react with a narcissist. You going shouting the odds to the narcissist and telling them you know stuff about them and you know how they're going to operate is actually what the narcissist would expect of you. They will have baited you into that type of reaction. If you're going to address a narcissist about who they are, it has to be in a response mode, well thought out, and where you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, and the narcissist is not in a position to do you any destruction. And I mean that in legal terms, in your family being protected, etc., etc. Remember, narcissists, we are not psychologists. You are not a psychologist. You can only ascertain with the knowledge that you have now, with what's happened to you in your own personal experience and with the DSM, etc., that this person is highly likely to be a narcissist. You do not know how far that runs or how far that goes, in that are they a psychopath or are they a sociopath? So this is a dangerous, dirty, dark place or person that's inhabited in this human being facade. You actually going and poking the hornet's nest or hitting it with a big stick is going to release a stinging sensation to you, and it's going to keep you embroiled in the enmeshment with the narcissist. Being a narcissist and being highly manipulative, you may also come off the worst in this dirty fight, because narcissists and psychopaths and sociopaths and demons fight dirty. You're also, in a way, if you continue the exposure with them, and they're not just going to sit there and take it and let you go off having had your say, so you are actually re-engaging with this person if you do say these things to them. This is going to continue the warfare, and this is you actually having to respond to dirty, low-down, low-grade stuff from a narcissist and go down to their level. And that is a win for a narcissist. In order for us to preserve ourselves, we need not to be of the narcissistic energy. We need not to go down to that level. We need not to fight in a demonic war. We need to stay above this mud-throwing situation that may ensue with the narcissist. This behind the scenes lies, this attack maybe on your family or your job. Engaging with these individuals is, in my opinion, not a good idea. In my opinion, it is better to preserve yourself, go away armed with the knowledge of your enemy and who they are and how they might attack. And anyone that comes to you for help in relation to this individual, you can expose them to the person asking for help or give guidance as to how the person might get away from this individual. By not interacting, by not going into the narcissist's pit, you take away supply from them. You maintain the upper hand in relation to the spiritual war, in that you know what you're dealing with, but they don't know that you know what you're dealing with. At least not for 100% sure. They will suspect that you know if you have opened up to them in relation to not buying into their manipulations and going grey rock and no longer wanting to be in a relationship with them. They will suspect that you know who they are, but they won't know for sure. You have the knowledge, and knowledge is power. Use that power only when you need to use that power, and therefore you will use it in a more effective way against this very dark energy that wants you to go down to its level and to suck you in to that hellish playground where they will only destroy you more. You win when you stay the person you are, stay true to your morals, go back into the light and stay in the light, because they cannot touch you there. They cannot touch you if you ask for God's protection and you follow the rules of light. If you stay yourself, hold on to your morals and your view of how the world works, and believe in yourself, the narcissist cannot touch you. Even if they come to attack you, even if you're dealing with the narcissist in court, even if they're going against you in a work situation, stay true to yourself. You do damage limitation. You carry the knowledge of who they are with you without them knowing you know who they are. And you go on to have the life that you deserve and should have, and should be able to live in peace with other human beings who value life and light above all else. So the conclusion, guys, is pretty simple. Yes, some people can get away with telling the narcissist who they are. And yes, it does give some people closure. I'd love to hear if you told the narcissist who they are, and what the results were. And if you did get away unscathed, if you are glad you told the narcissist who they are, or if you've decided to run from this demonic energy and to become more powerful and stronger in your own right and bring that light into the world. Guys, let us know how you get on with this question, because it does come up for so many people. It's so tempting to do what I did at the beginning and go and confront this force, this dark force, and tell them you know what they've been doing, and you know that they're hiding behind a lie, you know that they're a cheater, you know that they destroy, and you know that they get pleasure out of the pain they cause people. Very tempting, but wise? Perhaps not. Until the next video, guys, take very good care of yourselves. Stay in the light and move on with your life, and try and put the narcissist in the box that they deserve to be in, and with their own kin and kind, because they are not of you, but it was a learning experience. Thanks, guys.